Welcome back, everybody. These are just a few examples to help guide you as you're working from your preliminary exercises on Project 7 on pattern and creating something that is far more complex and larger than what we've done up till this point. This project is going to be our largest one. This will be executed on an 18 by 24 inch space. It can have an irregular edge, or as in this case, it can end at the edges of the paper. It can end at the 18 by 24 margin. The idea is to take your tessellating tile, the most interesting one that you created in your preliminary exercise, and create that pattern across the whole of this entire surface, and then to add details to that element as well as color aspects that are going to create, as in this case, a cohesive color scheme with some interesting line work, some interesting detail, and some interesting use of texture. So we're putting a lot of the ideas that we've worked on so far this semester into this piece. This is your chance to do something a little bit larger than we've done so far, but I do still want you to really concentrate on making sure that your color scheme is well planned, well thought out, and organized. In this case, you can clearly see that we're working with an analogous color scheme. All of these essential leaf shapes have been rendered with yellows, oranges, and reds. They're all in the warm analogous family. This example essentially is a complementary contrast between blue and orange. Remember that your complementary pairs, the primaries will always pair with a secondary. So blue's complement is orange, red's complement is green, yellow's complement is violet. You can see this student decided to transform each one of those individual tessellating tiles into a slightly different variation on this kind of cartoon character that really were fun to look at. It had interesting textures, different emotional aspects, but maintained that alternating blue and orange throughout the entire pattern. This one also transforms each version of the tessellating tile into a slightly different character. It doesn't succeed as successfully as the others in terms of a cohesive color scheme. So it does have interesting detail, but remember, you want to maintain control over your colors. This piece is a simple monochromatic, I suppose with a touch of complement in that use of orange on the eyes. This student created an image based on our CFCC mascot, the stingray. And you can see that this image fits perfectly into itself. And in an interesting move, the way that this pattern was continued over the entire page allowed for this sort of scalloped edge on this end, which really emphasizes the shape of the stingray itself. This piece is not the most dynamic in terms of added details, but it really does have a difficult task in terms of creating an octagon form that would fit into itself through the manipulation of where the cut pieces are added to the other side of the octagon. So this piece is more intricate in terms of the tile, less intricate perhaps in terms of the details within it. This rotating piece also comes from a hexagon form and creates kind of an interesting shape of these mushrooms fitting one into the other. So you want to think about texture, you want to think about color, you want to definitely think about color schemes, and remember that we're executing these on an 18 by 24 surface.